Hey everyone, in this video I want to go over the URL preview service from the Cognitive Services. In fact, this service is actually not on Azure yet, but it is on the Cognitive Services Labs. And we can see here what the labs are. It provides researchers and developers with an early look at emerging cognitive capabilities. So basically, it's kind of an alpha version of Cognitive Services that Microsoft wants to test out and get feedback on before they make it in preview and put it on Azure. And a couple of things they have here, like academic knowledge, event tracking, and what we're going to look at here is the URL preview. And so we can help flag adult content before it gets out that people can click on. So like all Cognitive Services here, we need to subscribe to get an API key. And this is separate from Azure, so you need to have an account on here in order to subscribe. Click on project URL here, and I'll click subscribe. And I confirm that I want to get a key here. It gives you a primary and secondary key, and it gives you the API that we can try now. So we have our key. Let's go to Jupyter Notebook here and start using it. Now there's no Python client here, but what we can do is install requests and make an API request directly to the service. And then I'll import requests. And let's go ahead and get that key here. So we'll show it and just copy it over. And I'll remove this key after I finish this video, by the way. And there's only one URL that we need to use here. And look at the documentation, it gives you this URL for the URL preview. So we'll use that. And then let's do a simple URL to get a preview from. And I'm actually going to use my blog here, johnwood.co, and we're actually going to put this URL inside of a query string. So what we need to do is that we need to encode this URL so it's in the correct format to be inside of a query string. To do that, we use the quest.utils.quote method, and then we need some headers, or a header rather, and this is going to hold our subscription key. Just pass the key in there, and we get a response by calling requests like get, and I'm using f string for string interpolation here, so I use the base URL. I do a query string, q for query, and I pass in that preview URL. Then I send the headers in, and then we can do response.json to see our response here. So we get a couple of things here. It's family friendly, it's true, and you get a description about the URL there. So that's how that works on a main page, but what about a specific page? You got a specific URL. So let's say we want to quote on a specific blog post that I have. Utils. And we kind of do the same thing up here. But instead of preview URL, we do specific URL, and then the response.json. Get a couple of extra things here. We get a primary image of page, and we get the name of the page here as well. And we can double check this primary image of page. We can do that directly here in the notebook using the ipython.display and import image and display methods here, and we can display an image, and we use this primary image of page. These are kind of dictionaries, and then within that it has a content URL, and let's set this JSON into a variable. Yep. You see we get this message, you cannot embed that format, because if you look at the end of it here, it has this format on the image on it. So let's take this image from the response, and I'll just copy this up here, and we'll do an image.split, and we'll get the first item. So if we split on the question mark, it's going to be here, so it's just going to give us this first item here, which is just the main image. And now if we display image on that image, we get the header image of that blog post. But this also works for URLs that contain videos. So we do request.utils.quote, and we'll do a YouTube video. I'm just going to paste this in so I don't have to type all that request. And then we do JSON. Look at the JSON response, and we can do the same thing, but notice the content URL doesn't have that format on it, so we can directly do a display. And actually, let's get a variable of the response.json, display image response of the primary image of page, and then get the content URL. Here we go. 5 books to be a better developer. Alright, so that's just a real quick introduction to the URL preview API that's on the Cognitive Services here. I think I'll end things for here. I might use this API within a project just to see how well it can be done. Like, for instance, if you want to kind of moderate links that people put inside of a Twitch chat, for instance, then you can use this to do that. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.